welcome to the Provo City Library podcast. My name is Erika Hill, and I'm the Community Relations Manager.
I'm Carla Gordon. I'm the Library Director.
And we are here today talking about books, our favorite thing.
Yeah.
Our summer reading theme this year is, I almost said it was dig into history, but nope,
It's not.
That's best books. It's Unearth a Story, which is very dinosaur themed. So today, we are talking about our favorite dinosaur books.
And when we finish that...
It won't take long. Then we're going to talk about historical fiction. Carla, do you have a favorite dinosaur book?
I really tried. Actually, I do. Oh, I do. T-Rex and the Impossible Hug.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is one that my daughter and I really like. So picture book. And I just barely thought of that, so I don't know the author's name.
Yeah.
But it's really cute about a little dinosaur who's a T-Rex and his arms are so little and he wants to give a friend a hug. And so he has to practice hugging and getting advice from other people on how to be a better hugger.
That's very funny.
It is. It's really cute. Hey, I had a dinosaur book.
You had a dinosaur book.
Do you have a dinosaur book?
I have two dinosaur books. One I love. It's actually a wordless picture book called Dino and Kitty.
Okay.
And I don't know why it is this way. You know, sometimes you can't ask why of a picture book. But someone brings home an egg and they already have a cat. And what hatches is a dino. Yeah. And the dino acts very cat-like, but gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so it gets harder.
Yeah.
And then I also, as I was sitting here, thought of Edwina, the dinosaur who didn't know she was extinct by Willems.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. That one's hilarious. There's a child that's kind of a stick in the mud named Reginald von Hooby-Dooby.
Sure.
Which is just objectively a great name.
That is.
So yeah, Edwina, and he keeps insisting, he's like, dinosaurs are extinct. But Edwina, the dinosaur, is like, well, okay, have these cookies I baked. So
actually, Molly Idle has some, the T-Rex.
Oh, I
like
do
the
love the
Party.
T-Rex book. I'm going to admit, I threw that in mostly as a joke. I didn't actually think we were going to talk about favorite dinosaur books.
They are all children's books.
Yeah.
I don't know that I know. I mean, I've read Jurassic Park.
I haven't.
I think I read Jurassic Park. I've read some Michael Crichton books.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they're good.
Yeah, they're good. Dinosaurs are great. I mean, I think that the thing that's hard is that so much of what we know about dinosaurs that would be good in a story is all just kind of speculation.
That's true.
So anyway, there's the joke that became a 2-minute segment on this podcast.
Dinosaur books.
Some great dinosaur books. What we're actually talking about here is our favorite historical fiction authors. Yeah. Because it felt like a way to talk about more books in less time.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the author, give a few of the titles. That's how I prepared.
Yeah.
And kind of what we like about the author.
Me too.
Yeah, we did notice a small hole in our lists.
I don't know if I would call it a small hole.
It's a huge hole.
It's a big hole. It's maybe like a 40% of the world's population hole.
Yeah, we feel like it's interesting that we put together our lists of our favorite historical fiction authors. I do have a guy on my list.
I do not.
So we were talking about why that might be. Mm-hmm. And I can think of good historical fiction authors. I think I came up with like Ken Follett.
Sure.
And Michael Shaara. I was talking about Killer Angels. Like there are more out there. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't. They either aren't my favorite or like Chris Bajalian, he'll write historical fiction, but that's not all that he writes. Mm-hmm. And I guess some of these authors write some different things too. I don't know. I just feel like my favorite historical fiction are usually written by women and they usually focus on the individual stories.
Right.
And not the epic history, which something like Ken Follett's like Pillars of the Earth, like it's very much about, I feel, more about the sweep of history than, and they have good characters in them. Anyways, I just feel like these authors, the books that I identify as my favorite historical fictions are very
like character-centric.
Very character-centric, but take place and draw in historical significance, historical events, stuff like that.
So we acknowledge that bias, and we're gonna press on anyway.
We are. Though I will say I did think that there would be more World War II on our lists.
Because it's so overrepresented
There is so much
historical fiction.
But not so much.
I'm trying to think if...
I mean, there are some.
I've got some.
You've got some.
I've got some.
It's not overwhelming. Like, I feel like the lists usually are overwhelmingly World War II. Anyway.
World War II. You want to go first?
I think you had more titles than me, but okay.
Oh, you go first.
I'll go first.
These are just options.
Sure.
We'll
just talk until someone gives us the eye that's like, shut it down. You've been talking way too long. Okay. My first one is Geraldine Brooks. She is one of my absolute favorites. She only writes a book every 2 to 3 years, so I get really excited when I see something come up. My favorite book of hers is Year of Wonders, which is a book of the plague. Everybody dies.
It's so uplifting.
But it is so good. It is one of my absolute favorites. But she also wrote People of the Book, which follows a book through history, from medieval Spain through to present day Bosnia, and how this book goes through different owners. And I kind of love the object traveling through history.
That's a cool angle.
Yeah, that way of telling a story. That one's really good. Caleb's Crossing is another really good one, about the first Native American to graduate from Harvard. So she definitely picks different aspects of history. She did write March, which is Little Women, but it's what the dad's up to.
Oh, interesting.
And if you love Little Women, I don't recommend reading it. It doesn't always, I thought it was really, really interesting. It just doesn't, in Little Women, he is very much identified as a very impressive individual that is, the dad. And he might not have been everything his kids thought he was. And so that's an interesting take on it. But if you truly love the characters, it might change, I don't know.
A little bit of deconstruction happening. A little,
though it's really interesting.
Disillusionment.
One thing I really liked about it, and we weren't going to go into details about the books. This is me not going into details about the books.
Sure.
But from the child's perspective, Little Women is very much written from the girls' perspective.
Right.
And their perspective of their parents' marriage would be what they saw and what was presented. And you just always think your parents are amazing. You don't always think that, but your parents are amazing, and you see that. And then to see the marriage from a slightly different perspective on how there might have been some personality differences, and there might have been reasons why he left, because you could see how it could happen. And it was really interesting to read about a marriage from a different perspective, on a marriage that you felt like you knew so well.
Right.
Because you're so familiar with the story. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that is kind of a normal thing. Yeah. That sounds interesting.
It's good. Geraldine Brooks. I just love everything she writes.
Excellent.
Okay.
Speaking of people who we like everything, I feel like that's actually how I made my list a little bit, is I'm like, what authors do I feel like I can confidently recommend anything they've written? That everything I've written by these authors I've just loved. The first one that came in mind, this is not a new recommendation for this podcast, but it's got to be Kristin Hannah.
Yeah.
It's just got to be Kristin Hannah. So Kristin Hannah has most recently The Women, Four Winds, The Nightingale, The Great Alone. Is that it? Sure.
I don't think it is, but I didn't make that list, so this is the point.
This
is why I make a list, because I forget things.
This is not Carla's problem. This is my problem. But yeah, her characters are so well-rounded and so nuanced. I feel like she is so excellent at capturing the holistic complexity of a situation. And they live in a very specific time of history. And obviously you're dealing with all the factors but it's such a nuanced, detailed world she builds. And they're a little bit heartbreaking in a cathartic kind of way, usually. And I love them so much.
Yep. If I see she has one coming out, I get really excited. But sometimes the best authors It's a couple years between books.
I know. It's
Which
like
is
they take
great.
their time crafting a great story. What are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Okay, the next one on my list is Kristin. Lauren Willig. And have you read anything of hers?
No, I have not.
So I first read her stuff, The Secret History of the Pink Carnation.
Oh, we
which
talked about that.
Is a lighter. Yeah, it's a lighter. It's lighter. It's almost a romance, but it takes place in history. It's kind of like Scarlet Pimpernel, only it's female agents, and they find romance. And there's a whole series, and they're very fun. And she's really good at like creating time and place that way. But she has written some standalone ones. Last year I read The Girl from Greenwich Street, which is a murder mystery with Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr. So do you remember that one? Which was really good. The Ashford Affair, it's like Gilded Age England. They just like a family secret and it goes through the ages. Anyways, hers are fun, but she really loves digging into the history and making things accurate. So I really get excited when I see something from her.
Excellent. I also have a Lauren.
Okay.
A Lauren W. even.
Nice.
I have Lauren Wolk on my list. So Lauren Wolk writes middle grade historical fiction. Several years ago, I think it was 2016, she wrote Wolf Hollow. It was a Newbery Honor book that year. And then she wrote Beyond the Bright Sea. There's one about a candle. I really should have written these titles down. It's okay. But yeah, her writing, the first time I read Wolf Hollow, have you read Marilyn Robinson?
Yes.
Gilead?
Yeah.
So I love Marilyn Robinson so much, although Marilyn Robinson's books sometimes put me to sleep. But it's not because they're boring. It's because they're slow moving.
I was gonna say, it's because nothing happens.
Yeah. But for me, it's also like comforting.
Yeah.
I felt similarly about reading Raising Hair last year. That it's this like, they paint a world bathed in golden beauty. And I get a little lost in the language in the best of ways. I felt like Lauren Wolk's writing was like that for kids. Like it's still accessible. A little more happens in her books than I would say happen in some Marilyn Robinson books, but it's still the writing of it is just so beautiful. So Lauren Wolk, Wolf Hollow, Beyond the Bright Sea, Something About a Candle, and there's probably 2 more that have come out since. I think that Wolf Hollow was her debut.
Her first one.
Yeah. Oh, Wolf Hollow has a sequel, and it's something about finding my voice or something like that.
If you can find the title.
If I could find the title. If only I had a computer in my pocket that I could find.
Don't pull it out.
I don't. Well, I actually left it on my desk like a good girl.
Like a good podcaster. Well done. Okay, my turn.
Yes.
Lisa Wingate.
Oh, we're all about LWs.
We are.
Apparently, if you're choosing a pen name to write historical fiction, I recommend Lynn Whiting or something with an L and a W.
We'll like it if nobody else will.
Little Women. It's a conspiracy. I found it. I've hit upon it. I'm so sorry. I totally hijacked you.
It's fine.
Lisa Wingate.
The first book that I read of hers was Before We Were Yours, which is, hers are more social issue driven. Yeah. Like this is like children getting stolen from their parents and then given to wealthy people to adopt. And then The Book of Lost Friends was her next one, which is really good, about Reconstruction era journey where 2 girls are trying to find their family and
like torn apart by slavery, and now the slaves are emancipated.
They're trying to. So there's these books, just the way that people would try to find each other when they had been torn apart from like childhood or like for decades. Anyways, so that was really good.
That's excellent.
Shelterwood, I think, is her most recent one. But that's like Native American, 1909, like kind of some secrets that were going on, and bad stuff in history. But they're very like you could see like Native American, the orphans. Anyways, it's all just like social worky, but really good. She also can paint a really good picture. You always feel bad for someone. But
I feel like her books do have like hopeful, happy endings.
She does. I feel like she draws a lot of empathy into her story. Like you might think you know this story,
right?
But here's kind of some background. So Lisa Wingate, Before We Were Yours for sure is my favorite, but The Book of Lost Friends and Shelterwood are also really good.
Excellent. Speaking of people who feel like you find sort of a different side of history, something else that we were talking about before we started recording, or maybe did. I'm sorry if this is repetitive and we talked about this already. We were noticing a conspicuous lack of World War II fiction.
Yeah, we did.
On this recording so far.
We did.
My memory is great.
It's cool.
Apparently. Anyway, I'm going to pronounce this name wrong. Maybe. But Ruta Sepetys is an author who I love, so I've read 3 of her books. 2 of them are World War II, but like not the stories of World War II that you expect to hear, because it's about Lithuania and about like some of these smaller countries. She has ties, she has family, like her grandfather was Lithuanian and escaped Lithuania during Russian occupation. Her favorite of mine, though, is The Fountains of Silence, which is about the Spanish Civil War. But it spans multiple, there's like a story happening when the Civil War is active, and then people later like trying to figure out what happened to their family and stuff like that. And again, like many of these authors, she creates really, really compelling characters and finds the family story within this like bigger historical era in ways I really like. And her books are often teen fiction. It's usually where they end up shelved. So Between Shades of Grey is about Lithuania, World War II. Salt to the Sea is also World War II. I don't know if it's Lithuania, but it's okay. Fountains of Silence. And they're great. Between Shades of Grey came out the same year as 50 Shades of Grey. Maybe not exactly, but
it was very close.
And actually received an unexpected boost in sales in the best way. Because if you thought you were getting 50 Shades of Grey,
what I was expecting,
but it's so much better.
It is. That's funny.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
Ruta Sepetys.
Here is my guy.
Your man.
My man. Amor Towles. I'm always nervous saying his name. It's not hard. It's just spelled weird.
Yeah.
Amor Towles, he wrote A Gentleman in Moscow, which is
Love it.
My favorite. It is so good, about a gentleman in Moscow. He's put under house arrest by the Russian Revolution. So like put him in house arrest, and then he kind of lives out that era just from this single place. And then in the end, he does get more involved in world events. Anyways, it's just so charming.
But like just from this hotel. I love like a sort of quirky cast of characters stuck in a place together. And that definitely, I feel like, because there's like a little girl that he becomes friends with, and you kind of get to see her grow up.
The hotel workers, like in the kitchen, there's a lot of drama going on in the kitchen. Anyways,
there's like a slight Downton Abbey vibe. Just in the, like, you're getting to know not just the main characters, but also the staff and everything. Yeah, I love that one. It's really
good. But he also wrote Rules of Civility, which was the first book I read by him. And that is like 1938 Manhattan. It kind of has some Great Gatsby vibes, because it's kind of that era, a girl going and kind of being drawn into a very ritzy society kind of situation, and how she deals with it. And
is there a movie?
I don't know. There might be. also, I read it like 15 years ago.
I might be thinking about Rules of Engagement.
Oh, maybe.
Probably.
It was really good. And then he recently did The Lincoln Highway, which is two brothers traveling across the Midwest in the 1950s.
I love The Lincoln Highway.
I know. His books are great.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good at characters too.
Yeah.
But his characters are very flawed but charming.
Mm-hmm.
And those are kind of my favorite kinds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, More Tools, Gentleman in Moscow, Rules of Civility, and The Lincoln Highway.
The Lincoln Highway, those characters are flawed and charming and sometimes terrifying. That one.
I'm trying to remember that.
It's not one of the brothers.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was like one of the friends?
The Duchess, I think, is what,
Okay.
The one who ends up causing all the trouble. Like,
I'm
going to steal your car. Don't worry, I'll give it back to you. You know?
Don't let that happen.
Yeah, his moral compass is perhaps askew.
Yeah.
In ways that you can empathize with, but still be like, I understand why you're doing what you're doing, but this is horrific.
But don't do it.
Stop it. Yep, there's your one man.
There's my guy.
Okay, who do I want to talk about next? I want to talk about Julie Berry because I want more people to know about Julie Berry. What I will say about Julie Berry is that she is genuinely one of the nicest people that I've ever met, and an author whose voice I could listen to, both metaphorically, as in I love her writing voice, but also actually her speaking voice. She's come to the library. I've now met her on 3 occasions, and she's delightful, and she sends me Christmas cards.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's like so nice. Also though, a Prince Award winner. So she also, I'm just gonna tell her story.
Okay.
For her, not that she needs me to, she's told it much better than me. But this is something that I tell people who are sometimes discouraged. I've been to a lot of author events, and people are always like, how do I get published? I'm not hearing back. I'm not, you know, and she has this story for a book called All the Truth That's in Me, that she wrote it and put it out to, you know, put out feelers. At this point, she had an agent. I think she had already published some things. Put it out. No one wants it. Nobody cares about this book. There's no interest in this book. And so literally like put it away under the bed. And just, she worked on other things. She published other books. Everything was fine. And then it was kind of like she had just finished up, I think, a series of sort of middle grade books. And her agent was like, what do you have? She said, well, I have this kind of weird book that nobody wanted several years ago. What about it? And she sent it to her agent. Her agent read it again. It was like, yeah, let's do this as a submission. It went to auction and like was bid on by multiple publishers and ended up, I think, with a pretty sweet publication deal, which just goes to show. But like I'm sure that they went through some editing and stuff.
Sure.
But sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes it's just about the timing and the climate and all of that. So Julie Berry's books are excellent. She wrote All the Truth That's in Me. What's the one that won the Prince Award? The Passion of Dulce. Mm-hmm. And I'm reading right now If Looks Could Kill, which just came out this year, which is sort of a hybrid. I don't know. We're getting there, but it's like Medusa and Jack the Ripper and some Salvation Army girls. And it's all gonna come together. Lovely War. Did I say Lovely War?
You didn't.
No.
I was going to throw it in.
Yeah. Lovely War is actually probably my favorite, which is a weird hybrid of like World War I and Greek gods. And you think that it can't possibly work. And it totally does. Like, it's like the god of war and the god of love are having this argument over what's more powerful a force, and they're doing it through World War I, which is just, it's really interesting. It's an interesting framing device.
Yeah. And
I love it. Plus, sometimes she'll play the piano at an author event.
Hey,
Yeah. So,
I like her.
and she sends me Christmas cards. She's so nice. Julie Berry. Everyone should put a book by Julie Berry on hold right now.
Right now.
Do it.
Okay. Sometimes I don't like to talk about authors because I'm sure I'm going to kill their names.
Oh.
Tracy Chevalier.
I think that's right.
Okay. She's been around for a long time. I had kind of forgotten. You might remember Girl with a Pearl Earring, which was a long time ago, about a Vermeer painting, like the subject of a Vermeer painting. But The Glassmaker was like, I had read some here and there, but she wrote Glassmaker 2 years ago, I think.
So.
And it was just so wonderful. And it just takes one woman through her life. She lives on the...
through her miraculously prolonged life.
It's true. It sounds weird, but she lives in the Venetian lagoon, like on an island. And island time is different. And so kind of the world goes from like plague to a pandemic. And COVID. She lives through that whole time, but time passes in the world different than for her. But it is so interesting to see the world change through the eyes of a single character. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
But Remarkable Creatures was another one that was really popular. She usually has women as her subjects in her books and picks a little piece of history. I mean, all of these just like pick a little piece of history. And I think that's one thing that like, I'm always surprised that there's more stories about World War II. But World War II was like the whole world. Like there's things that were happening in Lithuania. There were things that were happening in Russia. Like all of these different places that you kind of hear the England stories. And even then, like there were so many different people experiencing. And I think because it's within the lifetime of a lot of authors or authors that are writing now, new people who've gone through World War II, you get those stories. But I really love an author who is excited to jump way back or go to some place where they are just diving into the history and creating that fresh with a story that engages. And I think Tracy Chevalier does that. So she wrote Girl with a Pearl Earring, The Glassmaker, and Remarkable Creatures are three of her best.
Talking about somebody who doesn't go way, way back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these, like I'm looking at, we've got like, obviously some World War II. I've got some World War I. I've got some Depression era. You've got some like 1800s America, stuff like that. But sometimes we forget that things set in
the 80s?
The 80s or 70s or 60s can also be historical fiction. So I would be remiss if I did not include Taylor Jenkins Reid in this list because she's writing things that feel more contemporary, but are very much historical fiction.
About the time. Like the time that it takes place is central to the story.
And something that's fun about a lot of her books, I don't feel like she did it with atmosphere. I don't feel like there was a connection. But a lot of her books are peripherally connected to one another. So, like, there's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And one of the husbands of Evelyn Hugo, the novel Malibu Rising, is about his children. And
there's an affair.
So, in Malibu Rising, the husband of one of the characters there is having an affair with Carrie Soto from Carrie Soto is Back. And what's amazing about that is that you see her absolutely as a villain. Like she's the other woman. And then you read her story, Carrie Soto is Back, and you're like, oh, it turns out I am way more on board this Carrie Soto story than Nina Riva. It's fine, and they're, sorry, I just kicked that table. And I know that Daisy Jones and the Six is connected to them in some way as well. But atmosphere is not. I looked for it. Maybe there's probably some Reddit thread where they've made some connection between somebody. But yeah, I love atmosphere is probably my favorite.
Okay.
And then Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And
I think I like Carrie Soto the best. I really like that one.
I might like Carrie Soto more than Seven Husbands, actually. But yeah. And I have not read One True Loves.
Oh, that one was good too. But that one, I think,
that feels like more
the time and
contemporary.
place doesn't.
Yeah, it's not. I would not categorize that as historical fiction. But Daisy Jones and the Six, for sure. Yeah, Taylor Jenkins Reid. They're a good ride. I really love her books, and she's another one that if I find out that she's got one coming out, it's on hold immediately.
It's right there. Mm-hmm. My next is Sumunk Kid. She goes further back than anything we've done so far. So my favorite book of hers is called The Book of Longings.
I love The Book of Longings.
Which is a fictionalized story of the wife of Jesus. Mm-hmm. So
some people struggle with that. I thought I would. I did not
too.
Even a little bit.
I loved it so much. I liked the way they portrayed someone who a lot of people feel they have like a lot of knowledge and relationship to. Mm-hmm. And then you throw in this extra character and it just didn't, I don't know, I just really liked it, but I liked how she is presented in the time and place that she lived. And anyways, it was really, really good.
I feel I have seldom been more like infuriated for womankind than when reading, especially the beginning of that book. Just like your options are so limited, and sometimes they're so like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Did you ever read The Red Tent?
No.
By Anita something. Anyways, The Red Tent. But that's another one. That's the one of Abraham's daughters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, but
similarly, like, oh my gosh.
You've got to have some. Yeah. You got to have some options. But she also wrote The Invention of Wings, which is about an abolitionist. And the true, actually, is inspired by the true story of an abolitionist. So it's got some of that Deep South, slavery, all of that, which is really good. Secret Life of Bees, I think, was her big breakout. I don't know, that might not be true. That was the first thing I had ever read of hers, but it's less historical fiction. I mean, it takes place in the 60s.
Yeah.
But I think that's less. Her others are more historical. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it turns out I've read two, because I read Secret Life of Bees first. The Book of Longings is definitely my favorite.
Really good.
Should we do one more each?
Okay.
Who else do I want to mention? Let's throw in some cultural diversity here. I've talked a little bit about some of her books on this podcast before, but Pam Munoz Ryan writes historical fiction. Again, it's middle grade. She's very well known for Esperanza Rising, but my favorite of hers is Echo, which actually is World War II. Echo is particularly good as an audiobook. I think it didn't win the Odyssey Award, but I think it's an honor book for the Odyssey Award, which is kind of like the Newbery or Prince or anything, but it's specifically for audiobooks. Echo is fantastic, and it's got like music embedded in it. It's sort of I think it's 4 different characters, World War II era, and there's like a harmonica. Does it get past? That seems unsanitary. But there's this through line of music through all of these characters, and then it wraps up in the end in just the most satisfying way. I super recommend Echo. But also Esperanza Rising is great. I know she's written more, but they're all, it's American, but obviously Pam Munoz Ryan is Latino American, and so there's often that sort of through that lens, that experience of Latino characters experiencing early American history, which is fantastic.
Cool. My final author
is also
actually, well, she writes her books are all written as, originally in Spanish. So Isabel Allende. Have you read any of hers?
I should.
She's really good. A long petal of the sea, refugees fleeing the Spanish Civil War is one that I really, really like. Daughter of Fortune follows a Chilean. Like she takes a lot of cultures, South American or Spain or just Spanish-speaking cultures, and she'll bring out different parts of history. And so she's all over the place.
She write them in Spanish first? Does she translate them or does somebody else?
I believe someone else does. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure someone else does. Anyways, she writes a lot, like every other year or less. Like she writes, and she has a long backlist. So if you like her stuff, you've got a lot you can draw from. And I'm not, again, I like to read historical fiction that highlights something I'm very not familiar with.
Yeah.
And a lot of South American countries and some of the government upheavals and just some of the stuff going on, like I'm just very unfamiliar with until I really like the way she just tells it all with a story, which is why I like historical fiction.
I know. The danger sometimes of historical fiction is thinking that like, I know everything there is to know about that. Like, oh, let me tell you all about the Spanish Civil War. And it turns out I don't know all about the Spanish Civil War. What I know is The Fountains of Silence by...
It's true.
But also...
Or I think you had thought you might bring up Dean Hughes.
Oh.
And like... Or other... Like people get into those and so they think that the people in them are real people and they search for anyways.
Right. I mean, I definitely nearly everything
Geraldine.
I was going to say nearly
where are the steeds buried?
Nearly all of my church history knowledge comes from The Work and the Glory that I read as a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It was good. It's good. It is a way of making history feel more present, of making it, helping you realize, I think this is maybe my overall wrap up of why we love historical fiction, because history is dry, but people are always interesting.
Yeah.
And so when you learn about history through the lens of someone's story, it makes it so much more real, so much more present, and makes you realize that there are some experiences that are universal and have been happening across time, and that expands your view.
I do love historical fiction.
So there you go.
Okay.
There's our favorite historical fiction. I feel like we've been talking a long time.
We have. I'm going to really quick just say that I just barely read The Whisperer by Anne Patchett, and it was amazing, and everyone should read it.
Okay.
There you go.
Whistler.
Oh, Whistler. What did I say?
Whisperer. Yeah, it's not Whisperer.
Not Whisperer.
Whistler.
Whistler. Thank you.
Not after the mountain.
No. It's after a horse. The name of a horse that would come when whistled for.
It's like a... Nope, you're not going to get a Legend of Zelda joke.
Nope.
It's okay.
Nope, not gonna. Okay, but anyways, it's so good. It is a beautiful, beautiful story written in an amazing way, and I just think I could recommend it to almost anyone.
I just read The Story of a Happy Marriage also by Anne Patchett, which is nonfiction essays. So Anne Patchett, who we did not talk about, but then sneakily did.
She's the best.
Read things by Anne Patchett too.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.